Okay, so my name is Phương, and full name is Đặng Lâm Phương. I'm 35 years old. I was born in Huế, but most of my life I lived here. But I've got 7 years living elsewhere with my parents. Um, I was graduating from the College of Pedagogy, Huế in 2001, and then I went to work for a software company, and there I studied 3 more years in computer science. I was working in computer industry for like nearly 10 years before I went to Australia to do my master in human resource management, and then in 2008 I got back to Huế, and I was running a branch office of a company here. And after 4 years, I quit my job, and now I am a freelancer. I basically teach English and do some translation stuff.
That's good.
159 or 160 centimeters doesn't make much sense though, but yeah, I think roughly that height.
Okay, and
I haven't measured for a long time.
okay, and do you think in your when you born you saw that you're shorter guy in your community, or like how you find yourself?
Obviously, I was much shorter than my peers when I was born. Um, there is also a story behind this. Basically, I am genetically shorter than many other people, but my immune system is worse than others. Also because when my mother gave birth to me, she got sick. She was really ill, so I wasn't breastfed by her. So that's the reason why I was kind of lack of malnutrition a little bit. Yeah, yeah, and I realized that I was shorter than other people, obviously,
Okay,
even to my younger sister.
okay. So when you are young, like when is your youth, which kind of problem do you face in your like with your friends? Like, do you always feel that you are shorter, and which kind of problem arise in your life? And the same questions about your youth also, childhood and youth. Both you can answer.
Yeah, related to height, when I was really small, like 6 to 8 years old, I didn't have a lot of problem, not a single problem with that. Because at that point, being a short guy was even an advantage for me, because I was really good at playing football, and thanks to my height, I could escape from tackles from my friends. So I was really um, you know clever at that point, and being short was really a benefit for me. But when I grew older, and when I entered into puberty, and I started to realize that being shorter meant like you are less attractive to people you like than others people. So I think I had a hard time for about I think 10 years or so. When I was at high school and secondary school, I was even shorter than my younger sister, which was really disappointing to me at that time. Yeah, I couldn't. I avoided situations like standing in a choir to sing. So I avoid that, even though I was really good at singing at my age, and I avoid standing next to girls, because most of the girls were higher than me. I had a hard time. It was really hard time, um, and that continued until I went to university, and a few years after graduation. Yeah, I wasn't very self confident at that time. Yeah, regarding because my study ability at that time was really good, but just because of the height. I couldn't step up. I was so inconfident in nominating myself to do big things or things. So I think is a problem. Yeah. Are you now as well?
Yes. My next question is that, like mostly youth, when we are youth, we finding our girlfriend or our partner. So, how you face the problem at that time? Like, do you face any kind of problem to finding, like you fall in love with a girl who is taller than you, or maybe like that's going to be disheartened to you, or maybe other story, or you are shorter, so you always have to choose the shorter girl, like as a dream girl or as whatever.
Oh yeah. There's something I want to say before taking the question. There was a time I even thought about. I read somewhere on the internet that says that in America they had like a pill or tablet that can help you improve your height to 5 centimeters or even 10 centimeters. So I was considering seriously of buying that, and I was questioning myself whether I really wanted uh, to be taller by um, by taking some pills that are not very um, trustworthy at that point because they kept advertising that kind of pills. Um, I also did a lot of exercise, all kinds of stretching exercise to help me, you know, become taller. But it was like everything was in vain. Okay, talking about finding a girlfriend, I was a lucky guy at that point. I didn't have a lot of problem finding a girls because I think at that point I was still attracted to girls in general. So, but yeah, like you say, um, if I like, I tend to like girls who are my height or shorter, because I thought I wouldn't have much chance to attract a girl who is both beautiful and taller than me. So somehow I limited myself. I That's how I took it. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
So, as I heard that you already did your study in abroad, and you did job also.
yeah.
So, could you explain a little bit about your finding job experience there? You find some kind of difficulty to when you saw in a queue, people are more kind of a taller and more different kind of attitude. Did you feel that time little bit nervous or a little bit different?
When I'm grown up, feeling bad about myself because I am shorter than other wasn't is not that that as regular as before. But sometimes, yeah, when you speak to people and that you have to look up all the times, it makes yourself so small. Like it makes yourself be belittled compared to others. But it's not a really desperating thing that I experienced. But um, I used to work in a restaurant in Australia as a waiter. Yes, like for taller guys, if he wanted to move around the restaurant, he just strode uh, in a couple of seconds, and then he get where he wanted. But for me, I was almost running because it was a very busy restaurant too, and I think at that point people made some comments about my height, but in a polite way. I don't know if I didn't take it as an offense, but they said that, this man is like Jackie Chan, and Jackie Chan the short guy, and he moves very fast, and it could be a compliment because I was really active and handy at that point. But he also, I think they also refer to me being a short guy in giving comment. This guy's Jackie Chan. but I didn't take it as an offense actually. Yeah, but I did feel a lot of sometimes, not as regularly as before, that I felt be belittled by the situation. Yeah.
And the next question is, yes, in your culture, like when people are with short height, there is any kind of abuses. Like I explained you about in my culture, there is a lot of abuses when people have the shorter height. So do you face this kind of any problem?
Um, I think sometimes people abuse other people without like knowing that they're doing that, you know. So they do it unconsciously, like bad calling, you know. So sometimes people just call me like, "Hey, short guy," so anything like that. Or um, what else? Okay, if you have a girlfriend, how are you going to kiss her? That kind of thing. It happens, but I don't. Some people know that they are degrading other people, but I think in most of the cases, not many people know that they are belittling other people. Yeah, but as a person who receives that comments, I think you know, if that person is not strong, then it hurts a lot. Yeah, and not only to short people, to fat people, you know,
Many other.
to slim thinny people. Yeah.
So my next question, like you are in Australia, and I was also in US. Like people always use the quote, "Asian people have shorter height." So how you quote that to about Asia? Like people always say that Asian people have a short height, and other continent have a taller height. So how you quote or how you perceive that the comments? Like you agree with that or disagree with that, or you feel every community or continent have the same kind of height or same kind of peoples?
This is a tough question. Because
It's just a general question, general
yeah, yeah.
asking.
Uh, Even myself, I normally think that um, our people are generally shorter than others. Even myself, and I, not other people, you know, but I kind of think that, you know, because looking around, you know, my peer friends, how high they are, they cannot be as tall as a guy from at the same age from a Western country or Africa or anything. I mean, yeah. And I heard story about Japanese people when because of the height, so they were attracting foreigners to get married with Japanese girls, and then their offspring, the next generation, would be taller. So I think that, yeah.
And as I know that you groom yourself very, very well, you are very meditative and you are very kind of a spiritual and well educated person. How you perceive now about height?
I
Like
think
height does matter or height doesn't matter? What's your understanding right now in this age?
yeah, I think it matters and it doesn't matter. Um, it matters when it comes to situation when height is required. It's very important. Like I think uh, it is no discrimination to require like a flight attendant to be at a certain height so that they can help customer with, you know, loading the luggage and helping out with carrying the luggage or anything. Help have women to do the stuff. Um, yeah, but it doesn't really matter in any sense in any other kind of situation. I think now I kind of think that so if a girl is not attracted to you because you are not as tall as her, then that girl might not be as interesting as you want to have a date with. So usually people who doesn't really care about height are very interesting people to talk to. Yeah, I do think so, and I think that I'm now I'm a bit like I'm really a lot more confident. And I think that